Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again. We're on the Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to go down to the other side of Rutherford County, and I guess what we call the south side, whatever you want to call it, the side before you get up here to where we are, and that is in the Smyrna area. And we're going to talk to the head coach of the Stewart's Creek Redhawks, head coach Bert Browne. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Well, things are still looking up. If you're a Red Hawk, you kind of split a couple, but you are right now 4-1, and you lost one and you won one. And let's go over the loss first because the one came second. So I was away from you, and take us over to Cane Ridge, Coach, and talk to me a little bit about Cane Ridge.
Well, you know, we kind of reverted back to old, I guess. Shot ourselves in the foot several times and had a couple of turnovers at the wrong time. And, you know, we had an illegal motion that we picked up about 55 or 6 yards and got down to the 6-yard line there in the third quarter. But we were motioning in the backfield, and that brought it back. We ended up having a punt right there. So I really think that in the third day we were going to cut it to 10. And then the next time we got a ball back, we were driving and we fumbled it. Or we scored, we scored, and then we got a chance to cut it to 3 and fumble it. And, you know, that's what I've been telling the kids since I got here. You know, you cannot turn the football over. You can't get silly penalties that, you know, holding's going to happen.
Yep, everybody holds.
You know, that's going to happen. You know, there might be a late hit. If you're aggressive on defense, there might be a late hit that gets called on you. You know, there's things that are going to happen in a football game that you can look back on and say, well, you know what, that's football. So that happens sometimes. But when you do these little things and you get these little you know, motion penalties and things like that, and turning the ball over, you're just taking a pistol out and shooting yourself in the big toe.
Well, do you feel like since the season started, do you feel like you're getting better and where you are at the halfway point before we talk about the win you had this past Friday night?
Yeah, I think we're getting better. I think that, you know, we last week we didn't turn the football over, and you know, we did some other things that kind of hurt us early, but I think we're getting better. And, you know, like I said many times, and, you know, I've been doing this a while, it's a mindset, and you've got to be focused on the task at hand. And you know, football's one of those games that you just don't turn a switch on and, you know, you're out there playing. You know, it's not it's a focused game. I mean, it's not a game that you can just go out and play and be ready in 15 minutes. You know, it's one of those deals where you got to get mentally right. You know, you have basically 3 days to get ready for a Friday ball game, because Thursday's more of a mental thing that you're walking through stuff. And but I think we're getting better. I would like to see us. Offensively, I would like to see us take care of our defense a little bit more. You know, our defense has played great. They've put us in position, and I think that early in the football game, I would like to see us get up 14 or 21 and make people get uncomfortable and do some things they really don't want to do and unleash our defense. And that's when turnovers happen, you know, and so that's what I've been hawking to our offense. You know, we need to go out and score, and then score again, and then score again, and then we can turn our defense loose and play with reckless abandon, and that's when you get turnovers.
Well, and you talk about that, and when you're talking to a lineman, you know, it's hard to explain to them that, you know, right now for the regular season you got about 5 games, so you're going to get the video on 5 different opponents, but most linemen may only have 1 or 2 guys they're going to block the whole night, so it's not like, you know, this guy's a mystery man or something.
Right,
I mean, you know what he looks like, Coach. You know who you're leaning across, and if he's a little bit bigger than you, you know what you're going to have to do to keep him contained for the next, you know, 2 hours.
Well, yeah, and that's something I'm a big film watcher. I was when I was playing. I think that helped me be successful. because I was a film rat, like a gym rat. I spent a lot of time in the film room watching film, and as a coach, I've always done that. I've always watched a ton of film, and I tell our kids all the time, you can learn so much from watching film every night. Sit down at night by yourself, get in there and watch your opponent, the guy over you, the corner that you're going against, or the receiver that you're going against. Learn his tendencies, and you really can do that watching film and learning what guys are all about, and he'll give you an edge. And that's what I tell our offensive line all the time. You're gonna get an edge if you watch film and you'll see what that guy's doing. That always gives you an edge.
Well, and you mentioned that, but you're exactly right. You're a freak of nature and what you do by habit. So what you do, if you make a bad play and you don't do your job, then you want to say, okay, you didn't do your job on that last one. Let me watch you this one. So right. So are you a guy that so is my opponent a guy that plays all the time? Is he going to come up and try to beat me up every play, or is he just going to muddle through the tackles? Is he going through the motion? I mean, it is. And you want to.
It is. I tell you what, it is so much of a. And I really learned how to watch film in college from my quarterback coach, and he really taught me. I really didn't understand how to watch film before I got to college, and so to me, that's something that I learned at the college level. That I think my teams in the past, I've really harped on that. And I think that it's helped my teams in the past that, I learned to do that in college, and it helped me tremendously. And I really harp to them all the time about the little things that watching film will do for you. Now, they're teenagers, and some of them are going to go in one ear and out the other. Some of them are going to catch it. Some of them are going to do it. And usually the ones that are real, real good players are going to, there's a reason for that. First of all, they're pretty dang good athletically, and secondly, they put in the extra time to watch film and learn those things. And you can see if a tackle is going to pass set or if he's in a run set. And if you watch enough film as a defensive lineman, you learn that. So hey, he's getting ready to pass set. It's a pass or it's a run.
Great analogy, and we.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is something that Marty Carter, I think it was Marty, that played at Middle Tennessee he was from LaGrange, Georgia, and I was a quarterback coach at LaGrange High at one time, and those coaches were telling me that Marty he was a DB, and he would always be up in tackles at the line of scrimmage, and they asked him one time, they said, how do you know when it's a run or a pass? I mean, you're always right. And he said, Coach, I listen for pads popping. He said, if it's a run, pads are popping. If it's a pass, you don't hear pads popping. So it's those kind of little things, He
didn't matter. He's a blind man. He could have been in on the play because he's listening. He's listening. Yeah. He ain't watching. He's listening.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's a great analogy. I appreciate the education there and you sharing that. You beat Laverne 24-6, and that was a big, big win for you, Coach. And like we said, you are 4-1. But talk about that win across that crosstown rival, and regardless, you're going right down the street to them. I mean, they're right across town. But talk about Laverne Wolverines.
Well, I mean, I tell you what, they have gotten so much better from their first scrimmage to now. It's unbelievable, really. I mean, they have, and I was extremely worried because watching them on film, they've gotten better every week, and they're going to. I tell you what, they're going to be a hard out. They're going to give people some problems, and they're very athletic, and I think we have a real good defense, and our kids play hard. I think that our weight room has made a difference in us. What we've done over when I got here in the spring and got here through the summer and now, and but now, I knew that was going to be a tough football game. I think offensively, we probably left a couple of touchdowns on the field again in the first half. And, I've been preaching to the offense, it's time for us to step up and help our offense out and score 2 or 3 touchdowns in that first half. And so hopefully we can come out Friday and do that. But Laverne's got a tough football team, and they did some things that hurt us offensively. And in the second half, we went on a big 90-yard drive and scored, and then got some things going and looked like we should look, in my opinion, offensively, did a much better job.
Well, it was great to meet you Friday night, but you're going to be this past Friday night. I did run into you, and we talked for a few minutes, and that was great to finally put a face with the name.
Yeah.
But you've got a big opponent Friday night, but he's not doing real well. But it's still another game, and he's 0-5, but he's looking for a win. And Coach Donnie Webb, those teams like that are 0-5 and looking for a win are pretty dangerous. That'd be Station Camp and Coach Hollingsworth.
Right, and that's just it. I mean, that's their homecoming.
Yep.
So needless to say, they're going to be fired up, and they're going to want to beat us on their homecoming, and we're just going to have to come with our A game and play, and when the scary thing about playing a team that hasn't won a game, and especially when it's their homecoming, sometimes that can bite you, because I think your kids sometimes think, this is a bad team we're playing. We can just show up, and just like I've told our kids, we're not showing up anywhere and beating anybody. Nobody fears us. We're not,
That's a good nobody fears.
We haven't been winning 10 games around here, so you better strap it on and come to play every night and play with all you got, or you'll find yourself on a long bus ride home.
Coach, injury-wise, you doing okay?
Yeah, we're all right. We were dinged up with Mitch Crockett, our starting right guard, didn't play last week, and that's, when you take a guy like Mitch out of the offense, that's going to hurt you. But for the most part, we're getting some guys back, and so hopefully we can. Some guys that are dinged up maybe won't be playing Friday.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get healthy going back into region the next week.
Well, Coach, I'll talk to you next week. We're going to be back on, but until then, be careful, be safe, and hopefully go up to Station Camp. I've been up there. The first time I went up there and filmed, I went up there with Phillip. I was filming over at Blackman, and we went up there, and Tavis, they kicked the ball off to him, and he ran it back, and he touched it about 5 more times, and we was in a spinning clock and a light mist rain, and we was out of there, nothing flat. I mean,
well, that would be nice.
Yeah, you don't have Tavis, so that's the only problem, Coach. You don't have I-Train. Be careful and come away with a win, and we'll talk to you next week, Coach.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
See you, bye.
See you.